Have your say.
Islanders, the public have been voting for their favourite couple. Those with the fewest votes are at risk of being dumped from the island tonight.
Welcome back to Romance Review TV with Lady T, and I got another recap for you guys. Love Island UK Season 8, Episode 35. And there were a ton of breakups just as soon as they all coupled up. But we're going to unpack all of this. But before we do, take a second to make sure that you subscribe to this channel. And also feel free to like and share and drop a comment because I like engaging with you guys. So without any other further ado, let us unpack this recap. So as we remember from the previous episode, there were a ton of issues, especially with Jacques and Paige and, his behavior in Casa Amor and Paige really giving him the business about it. And then we got new couple, Dami and Summer and Deji and Indiyah. Well, they finally, it seems, look like they had hashed it out over the past couple days. And, she had questions for him because she felt like she was disrespected when she didn't do anything on the other side of the villa. And then there was this thing with Andrew and Tasha and Coco. So, yeah, it was a crazy episode 33. So now in this particular episode, we see Tasha is turning over a new leaf. She's starting off a new day, but how she starts end up differently at the end of this episode, and we're going to talk about it. So her and Billy is trying to make a connection, but at the same time, to me, it seems like she's still leading Andrew on. And as much as Andrew said he was done with Tosh and was moving on with Coco, that has backed up in reverse. So you might as well hit the beep, beep, beep button because he is backpedaling for real. Then we got Paige talking about the fact of how Jacques is working hard to rectify everything from, his behavior. He wants his relationship back with Paige, and Paige is not making it easy. And then Indiyah had her say in regards to her situation with Dami, which at this point, they're making their way slowly but surely back to each other, even though he's still coupled up with Summer. Look like that season is about to be over. And oh well, that's he got to cut his losses, but we're going to talk more about that later. Jay is pretty much done with China. She's okay with it. She knows that she's on borrowed time in the villa unless somebody comes in and sweep her off her feet. Now, Andrew decides to bring coffee and set it in the middle of both Tasha and Coco, and Tasha is looking like, okay, she took it, but she just put it off to the side, so she wasn't here for it. Jacques also came down and brought Paige a drink, but Paige is putting on the brakes. She is not trying to give him any indication that, she is opening up those doors at this point for him to, slide right back in with her. So now the boys are having their conversation. Andrew is talking about, most of this is probably, we're going to talk about me, and everybody started laughing. Yeah, you got a lot going on, especially at that bomb that Coco dropped about what you were doing in the bed that really set Tasha off, even though Tasha was rubbing up against Billy. Yeah, okay. And then Dami is still very much interested in Indiyah. So he's over there trying to explain himself and, trying to figure out where she is, even though he still haven't broke the news of what he's going to do with the summer season. But he's really trying to smooth his way over to Indiyah and, telling her, well, I've always have eyes for you. I really don't have a connection. What I feel around you is different than what I feel around Summer. And Deji is not liking it. And she asked him what was going on. But when he asked what she did, it was none of his business. I didn't understand that. I'm like, okay, but you wanted to know what he was doing. Right. So now we're back over to Andrew and Tasha. And I'm like, Andrew, do you get enough of this girl playing you? At this point, you guys who watch my channel, you know how I feel about this coupling. Honestly, Andrew should have been gone a long time ago, but he keep coming back for the hurt because it's bound to happen. So then we got Jacques trying to figure out a plan on what he wants to do to try to get back in Paige's good graces, because Paige is pretty much putting a wall or a barrier, and pretty much a titanium wall when it comes to Jacques, because Jacques screwed up badly. He screwed up really bad, especially after the whole thing with not only Coco but Cheyenne. And they dropped the T on him at the last recoupling. Yeah, he's about to put in some work because Paige ain't having it. So the work he's about to put in right now is this whole thing with this note he's creating. And we'll talk about that. Now, in the meantime, Paige is also having a conversation with Dami. And Dami is trying to put in a good word for Jacques. And it's not going to be that simple. Not at all, because as I said before, Jacques has dug a deep hole for himself. In the meantime, the other person that has dug a deep hole for himself is Dami. So Dami is pretty much telling Paige about, I really want Indiyah back, and I still don't want to give up on her. It's always been her. And I'm like, okay. So let's talk about this little project that Jacques has. He decided to get a piece of paper and get a lipstick tube and write "Miss you, sweetie, honey," whatever it is. And is planning on taking that little love note and stick it in the pillow up underneath the sheets. So when Paige get ready to go to bed, she's going to see this little, it says honey buns. There you go. So when she, get into bed, she'll see the little love note. We'll see how she reacts to that. But back to the conversation with Dami and Paige. She's saying, yeah, you're going to have to put in some work. You need to apologize. You need to go back and let her know it's going to be hard, but hey, you made your bed and you got to lie in it. And yes, you did. And you got to go do the work. Now, Indiyah's not putting him in the situation to do as much work as Paige is doing with Jacques, but he got to do something. So what he decided to do was to go and pull Indiyah to the side to have a conversation. And while that's going on, Deji giving him the side eye. Because he like, look at this right here. So, of course, he's concerned because he's building a connection with Indiyah. And so he's now beginning to realize that he's on borrowed time. So Dami goes and tell Indiyah, like, you know what? I haven't been honest with you. And of course, Indiyah's looking like, okay, what's now? What you got now? You did something like Jacques? I know that's what she was expecting. But he actually came from a different place. He was like, I need to let you know what my true feelings is about you. And, it's always been you. And I don't get those butterflies with her. Like, it's always been you. And you can see Indiyah's face lighting up like a Christmas tree. And he's smiling because he realized that she is now letting her guard down and is open. And she also said, I have a connection with Deji, but it's not like with you. And, when we're together, we're having a good time and our connection is so strong. So pretty much they decided in this scene to reconcile and get back together. Now, we do have this unspoken word and this staring contest when it comes to Andrew and Tasha, because most of this thing was them just staring at each other. And when Andrew stares and smiles, Tasha's like, what? And Andrew is like, nothing. And it's like, okay, what are we gonna do here? And so pretty much they have this nonverbal communication with each other, letting them know, I want to get back together with you. But I don't know about Tosh just yet. So now we got this other couple who I actually was rooting for, with Josh and Danica. And it looked like things are headed south. Want with these two, because Josh isn't feeling it. Now, I know Danica says that she felt a connection when they were back at Casa. She actually still feels a connection with Josh. But Josh isn't feeling it. He kind of want to build a relationship as a friend. So, yeah, that is not working. So now that Dami and Indiyah has reconciled, he has to now end the summer season. It's winter is coming. Time to shut everything down. And unfortunately, he calls it quits with Summer. Now, Summer is not happy about the fact that Dami did this. She said that this was a dickhead move. And yeah, but you know what? When you sign up to come through Casa More, that's the chance you take. On the flip side of the villa, Indiyah is doing the exact same thing to Deji. And she was going through her formal explanation about, I really like you and our connection is this, but I have a bigger connection with Dami. And Deji was like, do you want to get back with him or what? And he had to ask it twice. And she was like, well, yeah, but... And he was like, pretty much, okay, that's all I need to know at this point. So he didn't even want that conversation to drag on. He was like, just get to the point. If you want to be with old boy, fine. And obviously, he didn't like her breaking up with him either. So now Jacques, remember, he did his little project with the lipstick. And he's watching from afar as Paige get ready to go to bed. And she actually picks up the note. She thought it was really cute. It put a smile on her face. However, she still haven't moved the Jacques needle forward a little bit. Just a teeny bit, but not enough. Because as much as she liked that little note, she's pretty much, because he asked for a hug. He asked for a hug. And she was like, nope, go to bed. Shut it down, turn to the wall, be quiet, and go to sleep. As for Dami, he decided to start off his reconciliation with Indiyah off right by going to sleep on the daybed. Now, while Tasha is tripping over Andrew, Tasha is up in there all cuddled up in the bed with Mr. Billy Boy. And, I mean, she is real snuggly with him. And that's why I'm like, Andrew, you gotta let this girl go. I mean, she was scratching his head, scratching his back. I'm like, if he only knew. So Jacques wake up again wanting to cuddle. And Paige is like, no, not happening. So like I say, she is making him put in work. And he's here for it. So now we have, of course, Tasha got a big old smile on her face because of everything that went in with the situation with Billy last night. However, Andrew is ecstatic about the opportunity, and Coco is just sitting in limbo like, these people crazy. However, as much as Andrew was happy, they break the news that her and Billy was all cuddled up while he was on the outside chilling in the daybed. And he was like, what? They was doing what? Yeah, your girl, Tasha? Yeah, she living foul. Seriously. So as much as she want to play the victim, she's also playing manipulative games. And then, of course, we had both Dami and Indiyah talking about the fact that they are, in a good place. Now, she talking about she want to leave the door open, but I'm like, nah, you need to go ahead and close that door with Deji, and I think he's going to close it with you, too. So, it's just not happening. As regards to Paige, Paige is still tooting her horn about the fact that she is not budging. She's like, nope, I'm not ready. He's got to show me, show and prove. Come on with it. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I got to say at some point, he need to realize that, and it seemed like he did. He seems like he wants to go in as far with the situation as he can and to rectify this with Paige. Now, this whole conversation here is with Ekansu and Tasha. And once again, here come the waterworks because she is so upset about what happened with Coco and Andrew. And it's like, girl, you brought a whole man back that you was slobbering down in casa. And at the same time, like I just showed you guys, her scratching and cuddling and canoodling with Billy in the bed. It's like, what are you crying for? I don't understand what she's doing here. And you guys in the comment section, let me know what you think about how she's moving in this situation. So speaking about moving forward, again, we have both Danica and Josh addressing their situationship, or whatever you want to call it, or what's left of this situation. He's pretty much done. He's like, you know what? This is moving too fast. I'm trying to see if we will move the same way. And one thing I do know that he mentioned, and she mentioned this, is that he never been in a relationship before. So that's a red flag in itself. And somebody watching on the sideline, which was Ekansu, kind of pull her coattail and say, you know what? I'm not seeing any chemistry. He's not holding your hand. There's no affection there. Are you sure that you want to pursue this thing? And she was like, yeah, Danica's like, well, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe this is not going to work. And I'm like, no, it's not. So then we have Billy and Gemma having a conversation, and he's bringing to the attention of Gemma the fact that pretty much he's just sick and tired of being in the middle of this thing with Andrew and Tosh, and I don't blame him. However, Luca is looking in the far away background, wondering what the heck is going on. And I'm assuming nobody, including Gemma, has told him their connection on the outside, which I don't understand that. They're just friends. So then we got Jacques. He's still trying to fight his way back up that stream of being with Paige. And he's like, you know what? Whatever it takes, I'm going to do. So he's in for the long haul, it seems. But it's up to Paige if she's going to be receptive to it. So then we have, again, this reconvene of a conversation with Tosh and Ekansu. And Tasha is like, well, I think I just want to explore both connections. And I'm like, oh my God. Come on, girl. And on the flip side, we have the fact that even though she's doing what she wants to do to keep Andrew is not doing anything to keep Coco. He's done with Coco because he's getting back with Tasha in his head, so he thinks, even though Tasha is still back and forth, right? So he's telling Coco, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you. And they're going back and forth about what happened under the sheets where he was being orally stimulating with her breast. And she called him a dickhead move too. And that, he's like, I should have told the full truth. And he didn't. Now, this situation is interesting because after, Josh made his statement known about where they were, it looked like she was asking him, you can still see me and see other women, and you don't have to necessarily kick me to the curb, but I'm okay if you want to treat me like one of the boys and you can have a conversation. We can kiss and cuddle every now and then, even if you have interest in other girls. And he's like, nah, at this point, we just need to be friends. And if that guy don't want to be with you, Danica, as much gorgeous as she is, I think you just need to move on. Now, we have Luca still kind of buzzing in his ear, this whole situation of what the heck is going on between Billy and Gemma. And again, like I said earlier, nobody, and the girls know. They know Gemma's connection on the outside with this guy, that they're friends. Now, is it their place to tell them? No. But they're playing like, oh yeah, well, I don't know. So, yeah, he's not happy about that. So then Ekin-Su received a text message for all of the islanders to gather around the fire pit immediately. And you know this is because of the fact that the public has been voting for their favorite couples. So the first couple voted in was Davide and Ekin-Su. Number 2 was Danica and Josh. Number 3, Indiyah and Deji. The fourth couple was Luca and Gemma. And then, of course, we had Billy and Tasha. The next couple was Jacques and Paige. And then we had 2 remaining couples, and one is about to be sent home, which was Summer and Dami, and China and Jay, which they left us with this cliffhanger. So we'll have to wait for episode 36 to actually see what happens tomorrow.
One couple go home. I guess. Who's back?
Alright, there you have it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Take a second to like and share and comment, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.